Forgive me, it sounds cocky. He almatized me and opened my eyes. Oh.
Strap in, Swifties. The Taylor debate is back, doing cardio yet again. First, Sydney Sweeney unleashes full fangirl energy, proving even $40 million stars can dissolve when Taylor's name appears. Then CNN's Anderson Cooper gets blindsided by cheeky lyrics on live TV, briefly short-circuiting before viewers' eyes in a moment that went viral online.
I don't need to catch the
Next, Taylor calls out the industry's age obsession, then flexes at 36 with a massive tour and documentary era louder than ever.
Artists had, in my case, the privilege of developing to the point where you're in your 30s and you do know yourself a bit more, and then you were able to make the thing that they'll know you.
And finally, the ultimate plot twist. Era's tour choreographer Mandy Moore meets actress Mandy Moore, sending confusion into early retirement before your coffee even considers brewing.
4 a.m. at LAX at the American Lounge one morning, I look over and I'm like, that's Mandy.
Taylor Swift, the woman who has somehow become a walking, singing global phenomenon, is now having a full-blown fangirl moment over Sydney Sweeney, and honestly, that's the kind of celebrity crossover chaos that makes the internet feel fun again. According to insiders, Sweeney, who has firmly entered her I'm a $40 million powerhouse and still get starstruck era, has been openly gushing about Taylor's influence lately. And not in a casual I like her songs way. More like an I've been spiritually and emotionally raised by this woman's discography way. Sydney has reportedly been talking about how Taylor's music has a rare superpower. It somehow pulls every generation into the same emotional space. Grandparents, parents, teens, and even those people who insist they don't listen to pop music yet mysteriously know every single word to Cruel Summer. You know exactly who they are. Taylor's songs blur generational lines so thoroughly that suddenly everyone's singing along, whether they meant to or not. And Sydney isn't alone in this reaction. Word is Amanda Seyfried experienced a similar moment of musical time travel when a Taylor track unexpectedly started playing somewhere. The kind of reaction where you squeal, flail slightly, and instantly revert to your teenage self as if you've just been handed front row tickets and a friendship bracelet. Seyfried reportedly described it as Taylor's special trick. Her songs show up out of nowhere, and suddenly grown adults are emotionally transported back to 2012, rediscovering heartbreak like it just became a genre. Meanwhile, director Paul Feig had his own mini meltdown while trying to secure a Taylor song for a project. Because getting a Swift track approved, apparently, is like attempting entry into an ultra-exclusive club where the bouncer is also a poet and a billionaire. Feig allegedly wasn't convinced it would ever happen, since Taylor doesn't exactly hand out song approvals like free samples at Costco. When it finally did get cleared, he and his team were reportedly stunned, like they'd just won the music licensing lottery. But Taylor's songs don't just quietly infiltrate movies and playlists. They also have the unique ability to completely derail serious adults in real time. Case in point, Anderson Cooper. Yes, that Anderson Cooper, the man who delivers breaking news with the calm expression of someone who's seen absolutely everything. During CNN's New Year's Eve broadcast, Cooper was ambushed by a Taylor Swift lyric live on air. Everything was normal for exactly 2 seconds. The lights were flashing, the crowd was buzzing, Andy Cohen looked ready to cause chaos for entertainment purposes, and then suddenly, Cooper was forced into what can only be described as a dramatic reading of a Taylor Swift lyric from her latest album, The Life of a Showgirl. The result? A brief, glorious short circuit that reminded everyone, no one is immune to Taylor Swift.
I don't need to catch them.
Sources say this is not your usual sad girl autumn leaves Taylor era. This is very much an oh. That's what this is about, Taylor era. Apparently, the lyrics Anderson Cooper is asked to read are so boldly suggestive you can practically hear every producer backstage whispering, "This was a mistake. This was a mistake," in unison. The track allegedly includes some extremely obvious references to Travis Kelce anatomy, because of course it does. Taylor really said, "I'm engaged, I'm thriving, and I'm writing like this is my personal diary with a global audience." But the real entertainment isn't the lyrics themselves. It's watching Cooper's brain desperately try to keep up with what his mouth is being forced to say. He pauses like a man who cracked open a fortune cookie and found legal paperwork instead of inspiration. As he starts reading, you can see him fighting to maintain that calm, unshakable journalist composure, but it's basically like watching someone try not to sneeze during a silent prayer. The tension is unreal, and you immediately know it's not ending gracefully. Then Andy Cohen, who lives for exactly this kind of televised chaos, is standing right next to him, absolutely glowing with "I will not save you" energy. Cooper begins with lines about forgiveness and sounding cocky, and for a moment, he's trying to power through. He stares down at the lyrics like, "This is fine. This is journalism. I'm a professional adult." But the second he clocks where the song is actually headed, something shifts. He gets visibly shy, visibly rattled, like his soul briefly left his body to consult HR, legal, and his past self all at once.
It sounds cocky. He albertized me and opened my eyes.
Then Andy Cohen nudges him to keep reading, because Andy Cohen is chaos in a perfectly tailored suit, and that's always been the brand.
Oh.
Cooper keeps going, and this is where things officially get spicy. The next lines dive straight into metaphor territory, referencing a redwood tree and a key that opens certain things. At that point, sources say Cooper isn't really reading anymore, he's surviving. He's blinking too much. His voice starts wobbling. His face clearly says, "I did not go to Vanderbilt for this." Meanwhile, Andy Cohen stands beside him, smiling like a devil on the shoulder, barely holding it together and enjoying every second of Cooper's unraveling.
It ain't hard to see. His love was the key that opened my thighs. Girls, I don't need to catch them.
The moment officially tips into viral territory when Cooper hits another line and completely loses control. He pushes through a few more words, but then the lyrics basically start screaming, "This is not PG-13, and that's where he breaks. Not into polite, media-trained chuckles, but into full, uncontrollable giggles. The kind that only happen when you're trapped and laughter becomes your sole survival mechanism. The broadcast instantly turns into one of those rare live TV moments where everyone watching collectively thinks, "Oh no, his malfunctioning a respected journalist short-circuiting on air over a Taylor Swift lyric was not on the bingo card, but here we are." And honestly, after witnessing that level of second-hand chaos, it somehow feels perfectly logical that the next plot twist involves Taylor Swift herself casually disproving the entertainment industry again like it's a side hobby. Welcome to 2026, where Taylor Swift is 36, bigger than ever, and effectively running pop culture like she owns the lease. That long-standing industry fear that women in pop get quietly phased out in their 30s has aged about as well as a flip phone. Instead of shrinking, Taylor multiplied. Sources point to her new Disney Plus docuseries, the end of an era where she reflects on the era's tour with the tone of someone explaining a once-in-a-lifetime historical event to people who weren't there. And honestly, that checks out. The tour reportedly spanned 21 countries, ran for 2 years, and pulled in over $2 billion numbers, so while it starts sounding less like a concert tour and more like an Olympic sport. The stamina alone deserves a medal, a parade, and a very long ice bath. Then in the final episode, Taylor gets candid about just how unreal the experience was. She describes the era's tour as one of the most important things she's ever done, not just a series of concerts, but a 3-hour emotional marathon where people cried, screamed, and healed old heartbreaks under stadium lights. It wasn't just music. It was collective therapy with a light show.